So we're talking about some star ingredients that we use at the Real Greek, and today it's all about vine leaves. So I'm going to be cooking Koubebia
Dolmades.
I'm the one cooking, so we're going to call them Koubebia because I'm Cypriot and that's what we call them, and Koubebia means little cigar because that's what they're going to end up looking like. And I am lucky enough to have this gorgeous vine here in my garden in London. I'm a little bit late when it comes to harvesting my leaves, so this one would be okay because it's still a little bit soft, but these ones have got too hard and too veiny, so you can't use them anymore. So Tommy,
Yes.
your job is to search out the soft ones.
Perfect.
And pick them for me and bring them in so I can cook.
Okay.
I love it when I get to delegate. Off you go, out there.
Yep.
I need about 40. Okay, Tommy.
I'm here.
Bravo, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'm not going to be using these ones now.
Okay.
All that hard work. I'm going to use the ones that we use at the Real Greek, which we have imported from Greece or from Cyprus, because you can't use the vine leaf straight away like that. You need to immerse it in some boiling water, which is what I've done here, and you'll see that they change colour. So you've got this vibrant green and then it kind of goes a khaki colour once they get heated, and it makes them a lot more soft and therefore you can roll them easily. So first thing I need to do is get Tommy to chop the parsley, please Tommy. And I am just going to fry off on not too much of a high heat the onions, and I'm just literally softening them to sweeten them. And as you can see, we are using this beautiful olive oil. It's the same one that we use in the Real Greek, and it's from Crete, and it is delicious. So in there, sorry Tommy, let me just take these. I'm just going to put the onions, and again, I'm not cooking them. All I'm doing is sweating them off, softening them to just bring the sweetness out. For me, all dishes pretty much start with sweating off onions because their flavour is lovely, and especially if we get some lovely Greek onions, or actually anything grown in the Mediterranean, because anything grown in the sun is always a lot sweeter. So that actually should take about 5 minutes to just soften up. And then to the onions, I'm going to add the mincemeat, and I'm using pork. These are Koubebia or dolmades, they're Cypriot style. There's lots of different type of dolmades. How does your mum make them, Tommy? What does your mum put in?
Normally with rice, just with rice.
Just with rice. So you get the vegan ones that are just with rice. You get some other ones which I'll be showing you. Yeah, with mincemeat, or later we're also going to show some ones that have pine nuts, rice and figs or dates in, sweetened ones. So there's lots of different ways of making it. So when you're looking for dolmades, you need to check what the filling is. But Koubebia, Greek style, like these ones, always have minced pork in them. And I'm not cooking the pork, I'm literally just sealing it and browning it and just mixing a lot of those flavours together. To season it, I'm going to add a lovely healthy pinch of sea salt or 2, some freshly ground black pepper that I ground up earlier there, and because I'm doing Cypriot style, I'm going to add a teaspoon of ground cinnamon, which we Cypriots use a lot in our cooking, and just mix all those flavours together till the meat browns beautifully. And also, it will also let some of its juices out, some of the fat will come out and bind the onion. Once the mincemeat has browned, that's when I'm going to add my rice. Now you can use long grain rice if you like, but pudding rice is the way to do it really, because it just absorbs more flavour and expands better and fills the leaf. So there we go. A little bit more cooking. Like that, like so. Do you like dolmades?
Yes.
No? Do you ever make them, Tommy?
Not really.
This is a real woman's job, isn't it?
Yeah, I know.
In the villages, when I was a little girl and there would be a wedding.
The first thing that I'm asking a woman.
What? Did you
make dolmades.
Can you make dolmades?
Yeah, hi, how are you?
Can you make
dolmades?
I do actually. In the villages, especially the small Greek villages, Cypriot villages, it's really how you get to know each other, because if there's a wedding or a party, all the women of the village will come together, and it's a real memory of mine with my grandmother and my aunts, rolling dolmades along a long table and getting to find everybody's gossip, because everybody would end up talking about what's going on. You'd be rolling dolmades for hours. Your fingers would wrinkle like a little old lady from rolling dolmades. It's an amazing thing for bonding and getting to know the people around you. So this meat is beautifully browned. I'm going to add a cup of pudding rice just into the mixture like that. Mix in. And then to the pudding rice, I'm going to add, some people add tomatoes, some people don't add tomatoes. I like the tomatoes, thank you. So put those in. Now, if you've got fresh tomatoes, which they do in Greece and in Cyprus, thank you, Tommy, then I would use grated fresh tomatoes. But if you don't, can of chopped tomatoes, or what I've got here is plum tomatoes. But if you've got plum tomatoes, just so you can see, you do need to break them up so they're evenly distributed everywhere. And then just give that a really, really good stir and mix everything in together like that beautifully. Ah, Tommy, I need my parsley.
Yes.
Will you throw the parsley in?
Chop it more or
No, throw it in, sprinkle it around, please. Lovely. Thank you.
One more?
A little, yeah, put it all in. It's good vitamin C. And what these are, I imagine this is like a British Cornish pasty. Do you know what a Cornish pasty is?
Not really.
Okay, so in Cornwall, the fishermen would make Cornish pasties, and in the pasty, they would put their meat and their vegetables, and they would put it in some pastry.
Okay.
And they would hold it on one side because their hands would be dirty, and they'd eat all of it and then throw that side away. But it's a whole meal in a pasty. Dolmades are a little bit like that, because what's happening is you've got a whole meal in a dolmade. You've got your carbohydrates from the rice, you've got your vegetables, you've got your herbs, your spices, and your protein for the pork. So it's like a little meal in itself. One dolmade is a whole meal in itself, and it's just totally delicious. So that's bound together beautifully now. And you know, some people add mint, some people add dill. I'm just going to keep it nice and pure with just parsley and tomatoes, salt, pepper, and onion, a little bit of cinnamon to give the flavour.
The secret, yeah?
Every grandma, every woman has her own recipe, and it's a point of pride, isn't it, that my dolmades are better than your dolmades?
Yeah. Dolmade challenge.
Dolmade challenge. And the thing is, what I'm waiting to see is if my sons bring Greek women home, whether they prefer their girlfriends or their wives' dolmades to mine. It's a deal breaker.
This is championship. Yeah.
I have to win that one.
Yeah,
okay. So what you need to do now is give it a final good stir. So everything's mixed beautifully together, and switch off the heat, because if you don't switch off the heat, your fingers will burn. So, you know, you just need to allow this whole mixture to cool down a little bit. In that time, that's the time that you can go and get your vine leaves ready. And I'm going to just set up my dolmade rolling station. So I'll see you in one moment. So my rice and pork mixture has cooled, and I've set up my little dolmade rolling station. And imagine this was a village in Greece or Cyprus, and there would be women sitting along each side of the table. So you need to have your vine leaves ready. Very, very important, when you're rolling vine leaves, you need to make sure that it's veiny side up. So the veiny side, the kind of textured side, is up, and then you just lay out your leaf. You take a small amount of the mixture like that, and then it's just a case of rolling. You pack it tightly like that, squeeze it round like that, then you fold over neatly the sides just like that, and then you just keep rolling, and some of the tomato juice will come out, and you're just going to pour that back in the pan once it gets too wet. And what you end up with is a little cigarello, just like that, and then you just keep rolling them. I'm going to do one more, I'll show you. It is quite time consuming, so you've got to have enough time and patience to do this. As I said, you get your vine leaf. If you've got a vine leaf with a hole in it, don't worry, because you can just patch it with another bit of vine leaf. Vein side up, put it down on a flat board, take around a heaped teaspoon of the mixture, depending on the size of your vine leaf. Now, different places do different ones. we have beautiful Marilita here who's helping me today, and she's from Gasos, and they make the most intricate, tiny, tiny, time-consuming ones, which I would never have the patience for. These are nice, big, fat ones, which you roll like that. And as I said, it's nice to have some help. So, Tommy, you're going to come and give me a hand? Hey.
Yeah.
Okay, you coming?
In half an hour.
In half an hour, I'll be finished.
Okay, then 35 minutes.
There is a thing that Greek men, like Tommy, think that dolmada rolling is woman's work.
You said that.
But that's what you're thinking, isn't it?
Yeah.
Anyway, so I'm going to just continue rolling these till my pan is full, and then I'll show you what to do. Okay, so I've just got to tightly pack in my final dolmada, and then there's a couple of other things I need to do. So once I've packed this one in here like that, literally squeezed it in, then what you do is you add just a kind of cup of stock or water. I've got some stock ready here. I'll just stir that up a bit. And that's going to go in there, and that's for the rice to absorb and to cook. There's a cup of water goes in there. And then the most important trick is any leftover vine leaves you've got, just put over the top there because it looks pretty, like that, like so. And then you have to put a plate on top, and the reason you put a plate on top is to keep the dolmadas tightly packed down, because if you don't put a plate on top, when they swell once they're cooking, then they'll unravel. So this, the weight of this, keeps everything on top and keeps it weighted down so it can cook and keep its shape. There are two ways now of cooking this. If you want to, you can you put a lid on, or cover it in foil, whichever suits you, and you can put it on your stove top and slowly simmer it for about 45 minutes. Or the easiest way, I think, is to just take this whole thing and put it into the oven at 180 for around 35-40 minutes as well, and then it'll be cooked. So you can either do it in a saucepan like this that can go in the oven, or you can do it in a big earthenware pan that can, again, go into the oven, and they are completely delicious.